It's showtime.
Okay guys, welcome back. You are watching the SCPL. My name is Kix. Joining me is Rapid, and we're about to head into our third game of this semi-final between NetWars and Red.
That's right, and kind of for the first time that I could really remember, we you have Red down 0-2 going into this. Now,
Yeah.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I know, KSL in the semifinals does best of sevens kicks. So if you want to step up your game, well, maybe you should do that too. But for all intents and purposes, yeah, this is just a best of five. So this is where Red has to turn it around. I mean, if any team can do it, it would be them because they are undefeated this season. But I don't think they've ever really found themselves in this place.
Yeah, no, they haven't. They have gone undefeated. They have been down before. Obviously, their player coming up here could be the one to bring it back for them. But they're going to have to win 3 straight games now if they want to win the series. Now, I know you mentioned best of 7. Well, the finals and the 3rd and 4th place match are going to be best of 7. So either way, both the teams today will have a best of 7 to play the next week. So let's actually head on over to the overlay and let's see who our players are going to be. Okay, so for Red, we're going to have Cryoc. Now, Cryoc, with his very own insane win rate as well, he is 6-0.
Yeah.
He played in one of the most watched VODs from SCPL Round 2 as well, the game he played against Zerg on Return of the King, which did...
Oh, that game was so sick. Oh my god.
Yeah, I can't even explain how good that game is. So if you do want to check that game out, it's up on my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/KixSC. But he is going to look to play yet another memorable game here. He did a great job this round, great job last round, and he has been a key player in Red making it this far and this undefeated as well, because he's won every single one of his games. Now, his opponent hasn't played that much this round. He has been busy doing a lot of StarCraft related things that it's not my place to announce, but it should be fairly obvious what's coming up soon, hopefully. I'm sure he'll bring out some news for that soon. But Zero, leader and organizer of the BSL, one of the other premier tournaments for the foreign Brood War scene. Hopefully that should be back soon with BSL 5. But either way, he has gone 1-0 this round, and they go 5-1 last round. So a very strong Zerg player. But just one thing to point out about the notes: Cryoc is 4-0 against Zerg right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's the big stat, regardless of just being undefeated. Most of the time he's played is like, I don't want to say like a Zerg sniper, but he's very impressive. Now, the other thing to point out is that we've already lost one of our Zerg casters in Cadenzi, and so now we have another Zerg caster here in Zero coming out. So hopefully history does not repeat itself for NetWars' sake, but if it does, then they will take... But if it does, then Cryoc will take the win here, and maybe that'll even up the series. I don't know. I'm actually really excited to watch this, and it is going to be on Neo Electric Circuit, which once again is kind of a strange map.
Yeah, Neo Electric Circuit, not as strange. I would say fairly standard. Obviously, it's not entirely standard. 4 corners.
Okay, well, I think it's strange, Kix.
Okay, mineral-only thirds, very much like Neo Medusa. There is the stacked side disruptors blocking off your mineral-only third, but there is going to be 4 additional gas bases as well. In a way, kind of like Circuit Breaker in terms of sort of the gas mineral distribution of those bases. But either way, it should be a great game here. A very cool map for TVZ. Currently, Terran are up 4-2 against Zerg here. But if there's a Zerg player that can fight against the rising tide, it's going to be Zero. Let's head on into our TVZ here between Cryoc and Zero. It's Red versus NetWars. NetWars are on match point. Can Cryoc bring it back? Let's find out. Now here we have in the top right hand corner in the blue, it's the man currently sat for his team at match point here on Neo Electric Circuit. It is Zero.
And Zero's opponent in the bottom left, in the orange. This is the Terran player playing for red. It's Cryoc.
Yeah, now this is obviously a very important game for Cryoc to play. If he does not win this game, we're obviously going to have a bit of a problem because we are going to have a 3-0 victory for Net Wars, and that would be a really surprising result here due to just how damn well Bread have been playing. But can Mr. Zero up here in the top right bring it home for his team?
I will just say that, you know, a lot of casters get a bad rap for not being good at the games they play. Zero is a baller. Like, this guy is so good. I watched him play and stream, and I'm just like, oh my god. Like, he's actually very, very good. So, very impressed by him. And I absolutely do not know how he does everything that he does. He actually just has, like, a super sick life. And, oh, by the way, he's really good at StarCraft and tournaments and all this other stuff. So, I mean, yeah, really, really impressed. But not to take anything away from Cryoc, of course. Every time we see this guy play, he wins. And specifically, that is against Zerg. And he even does it on all of your wacky maps, Kix.
Yeah, he does. Now, we're going to have Zero going for a 12 hatch, so fairly standard opening from him. Cryoc looks like he could be going for some kind of tech build here. He's actually going to wall off his main. Now, this isn't the most conventional way to wall Neo-Electric Circuit. You can actually wall off with a barracks and a supply depot. But he's going to go for the bigger wall. He hasn't yet gone for a gas either, so I mean, he could just be playing super greedy behind this.
Yeah, he could. The drone is going to get in, right? And it even could, be annoying up here at the front door. Oh god, this is so annoying to deal with, this Terran. Everybody likes to, talk about how pros are annoying, and even Zerg specifically like to complain about how, their workers, you have to, consume the worker to make a building, and how unfair that actually is. But like, let's just be real. Like, it can be so annoying to deal with this drone because it's got moving shot, it's got a ranged attack. Like, it's just. This is coming from my Terran bias, but yeah, the drone gets in and sees everything.
Now, you say Terran bias, but I thought you played Protoss, so...
I mean, I play a little bit of everything, right?
Okay.
I've actually been playing mostly Zerg lately, but I started out as Protoss because everybody told me it was like a good starter race, and then I played mostly Terran for the longest time, and then been playing a lot of Zerg lately just to kind of familiarize myself with things. But yeah, the idea is that it is still. There are strengths and weaknesses on all sides.
Yeah, now both players going to get a full scout off, so not going to be too much to be annoying. Now, Zero has a bit of an advantage here because he did steal Cryoc's gas. Now, one of the benefits of going for this quick wall off is you can actually get a really quick gas, get really quick tech. But he did go for a 1-Rax expand first, but that's delayed his gas now. Now this is going to be, say, 75 minerals or so that Zero's going to lose, but that's certainly something he's going to be happy with.
Absolutely, yeah. The delaying Terran gas is just super, super important. Protoss, I think, can do it most effectively because, of course, their buildings build themselves. But, of course, for Zerg, if you're going to lose the drone anyway, you might as well just be as annoying as possible. Yeah. This doesn't actually delay the gas that much because you can just build it at the natural, but it still does force that geyser to be built there. And then if you have something kind of, any kind of shenanigans or, something along those lines when it comes to, sieging at the natural, that's not really possible on this map. But maybe you're going for a Guardian play, you shut that down. It can be a big deal.
Yeah, now, we just saw on screen one of the benefits of this map for Zerg is there is that very easy to take third base. It is a mineral only, but it does mean when you're going for these 3-hatch builds, you get a very quick third rather than just having a 3rd hatch in your main. So that's going to benefit Zero as the game goes on, but of course Cryoc has expanded now. He's got his gas mining. He's actually going for double gas very, very quickly, so I think we're going to see a mech play from him here. And there's the first factory.
Yeah, this is really cool. So a lot of times versus Zerg, you'll see heavy, heavy bio. And I would honestly say, specifically from Cryoc, most of the time what we see is SK Terran out of him. But this is going to be a little bit different. Now, it doesn't have to be like total mech. It can actually just be, Marine Siege Tank. kind of push, and that does work okay on this map. But if it is just like a straight up mech transition, that would be that's a very complicated thing to pull off, because there's just a moment where you've just got to throw down a bunch of factories, and sometimes that can hit at the same time that Zerg are powering off of like 3 or 4 hatcheries, and there's just really a big unit discrepancy there. So it's harder than it looks, is all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's something that puts me off the idea that it is going to be mech, just because there's no armory yet. Now, obviously going for a lot of gas, so what is this going to be for? He's going to add a barracks here, and he is going to add a starport, so I'm guessing he's just going to go into very quick vessels, but still, that's a lot of gas he's starting to bank up here.
Yeah, I went a little bit too far down the what does this factory mean kicks kind of rabbit hole. If he does add on more, then yeah, that would actually be kind of cool. But most likely, you are correct, Kicks. We are going to be seeing SK Terran. Like I think every single game I've watched TVZ from Cryoc, he's 4-0, and it's because he's so good at SK Terran.
Yeah, we saw a scan going down there by Cryoc on the natural. Does see that there's no sunken colonies there, and that could actually be a problem for Zero, because Cryoc is building up his bio count. Obviously his bio not going to be as numerous as, say, if he did go for like a +1/5 ranks or something, but we are going to see very quick vessels here. Now we see another scan going down. That's going to confirm what's going on in the main. Going to see the Spire, and going to see the very quick Hydralisk Den.
So he sees the Hydra Den, right? But he's going to know that it's going to be 3-hatch Muta coming through. Not really a big mystery. Whenever, if you scan the hatchery at this timing and you see 3 eggs morphing, it's 3-hatch Hydra, or 3-hatch Muta, rather. I think I might have said Hydra before, but yeah, 3-hatch Muta is the build. 9 Mutas headed across the map. Well, I say 9 Mutas headed across the map. 2 of them are a little bit slower, but they'll get there, Kicks.
Yeah, they will. Now, we do have those 9 Mutalists, of course. They are flying in, but we see Cryoc with turrets already. He is super prepared for this. He has bio in his main as well. His range and his stim are going to be a lot slower. He does, of course, have the... maybe he's got them both now. He does have stim. Does he have range? No, he forgot range, so that's a big deal. No, he's actually
not. Yeah, that's... Whoa. Okay, so that makes... Man, against Muta Micro, that makes Marines just absolutely garbage. Like, I mean, they're not bad by any means, but, like, Marines without range against Mutas, especially if they, like, go between high ground and low ground, I mean, that's just, it's not a fair fight. So it's going to take time for that range to research, but it will kind of coincide nicely with the irradiate timing. So there will be just one big moment where Cryoc's army just gets way, way, way stronger.
Yeah, now, obviously Zero's still moving in, still trying to find any damage he can. Keep Cryoc on the back foot. He's built up his Mutalist count. He's got a couple of Scourge in here as well, because he has a feeling that there is going to be quick vessels, and these Scourge are going to be absolutely instrumental in trying to sort of break through this early push of Cryoc that's going to be coming out here.
Yeah, I mean, Cryoc will eventually explode out onto the map, but he's kind of biding his time, and this is kind of a, hashtag things Terran does, right? Where they just stay back until they're super, super strong, and then they explode out and really surprise you.
Oh, irradiate!
No, irradiate! Oh,
he's not splitting! Oh, that's so much damage. Oh, he's still not split all of them out either.
Wait, what? Okay, yeah, he just like erased his own mutas. Yikes! So every single muta down below half health. I mean, several in the red. It's
look at the size really of this push coming out as well. But there's so many units from Zero already. He's got so many lurkers, so many lings. The Mutalist's not going to be that good in this fight now. They have lost their utility. But is there siege mode for Cryoc? Cryoc has got a lot of bio, but it's not really.
Okay, watch this lurker. Here we go. Lurkers. Lurkers running forward, all over everything. The Muta's coming in here. Lurkers burrow. Huge spines coming out there. But is this going to be enough? The Unburrow on the Lurkers, running them back forward. Really good control here by Cryoc, but he is just really getting busted right now. A big play here by Zero with these Lurkers coming through right as Cryoc was pushing out.
Yeah, that's a very, very big deal. Cryoc's bio count is pretty much reset. We're going to see him actually starting to turtle back up, build up his tank count again. And a lot was riding on that for Cryoc, but he didn't have enough bio. And the target firing on the Lurkers just wasn't there. Now, he does have his tech. He's got 4 kills on that vessel, by the way. That's insane. Soon to be 5.
I was really surprised he didn't actually kill many lurkers. I don't know if he killed any. I guess maybe 1 or 2, but yeah, he didn't actually deal with the lurkers during that that big push, and so
yeah.
Zero super effective there. And now all he has to do is kind of siege leapfrog, and oh, some friendly fire right there with the lings running in. It's kind of like leapfrog back towards his base. And by the time Cryoc pushes out in the middle of the map, it won't be fast enough, and Zero will be able to defend. He's already remacroed a ton of lings at the same time.
Oh, that was a pretty big deal. Cryoc losing a little bit more medic marine than he needs to. Now, he is able to slowly push this with siege, but Hive is up now. We will see that Defiler Mound coming in very shortly as well, if it's not already being constructed. And there it is in the natural. And I mean, slowly but surely, Zero's army is going to get very strong. Now, of course, the upgrades are going to start kicking in for Cryoc. Does have that +1 attack here.
Oh no, he's not moving his highest vessel. Scourge coming in,
no! That was a
That's...
huge deal as well. This is just
I mean, science vessels are a little bit like Protoss Corsairs in that if you can reset the count, the SK Terran just doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, the vessels are so instrumental. Like, you need them for absolutely everything. They're obviously used for irradiates, they're used for spotting as well, for when the lurkers start coming out as well. And it's just a lot of damage to be taking. Now, he is going to scan that base has gone down. He actually scanned the other main at the same time because he wasn't sure I'd find anything. But there's already a Nidus Canal there, so this push isn't going to find any damage if Zero has his units in the right place. Oh, and there comes the Defilers as well.
Yeah, able to defend. The Nidus is up, so theoretically the defense here is possible. Now, it's not like there's high ground advantage here, but there is a lurker.
There's only one lurker.
Hold position? Last shot. Yeah, wow. Okay, so it does kill off 3, but yeah, the Nidus is not actually... Okay, there it is. The lurker's coming through the Nidus. Now, there's no Defiler here. That's actually a huge deal.
Yeah, but the thing is, there's not actually that much bio. This is kind of half of Cryoc's army right now. The Lings
my God! Am I watching like is this a campaign mission, Kix? All of a sudden, just a million Zergs spawn out of nowhere and push Cryoc all the way back, and I mean, he's still going to be able to siege this, but now the Defiler is here, and Dark Swarm's coming through.
Oh, that's a nice irradiate on the Lurker, though, doing a lot of damage, but still, here comes Dark Swarm. Effectively, Lurkers on the Swarm right now are going to be invincible, and losing one of his tanks as well. Vessel in a very precarious position. And it's weird, but we see Cryoc slow pushing his way through a Zerg base, and that's not often you see that.
Yeah, this is definitely an uncommon strategy. Now, the Nidus is very heavily damaged, and so that could, if that goes down, then absolutely, yeah, Cryoc could break this eventually. But look at the Zerglings, they're getting on top of those siege tanks, more coming down from that high ground, and I mean, Zero's just dealing with this fantastically.
Yeah, but the Nidus has just gone down now. If Cryoc can get enough units in there, he can maybe make something happen, but there's just so many Lings everywhere right now. And with Scourge and Lings going through the middle of the map, Cryoc, of course, onto his third base now. He will, of course, have his vessels still alive, but there's not actually that much anti-air defending them anymore. And Cryoc is, I mean, he's still in a fairly good position. He's on 3 bases, he's going into Vultures with mines. And I'd say the incentive and initiative really does go with him at the moment. Cryoc of Zero, forced to defend with everything he's pretty much got at the moment. And we're seeing the result of that.
It should be noted this is +1 carapace for Zerg, so these Lings are actually super, or a lot tankier than you'd imagine. And now here they go running in, actually getting quite a few kills there on the bio, but the tank stays alive, the siege is still coming through.
As well. And there's a lot of Vultures. The Vultures are the real power play here, because there's not really anything that Zero has to kill them. He lost his Mutalist a little bit earlier, there's nothing other than Lings to kind of throw away on them. And I mean, this base is going to go down in the bottom right.
I believe it is. Now, there's another base started in the upper left, and so that's going to be kind of the rebound base. But yeah, losing a base to Zerg really sucks, and you know, it's a lot for Terran to commit to, but behind this, that mineral-only third is coming up for Cryoc, and that means basically infinity Vultures and mines everywhere. and that is just exactly where you want to be as a Terran.
Yeah, now the one ironic thing is there's mainly vultures here, so it's going to be a long time before this hatchery does go down. There are 2 hatcheries worth of lava as well. So are we going to see any major tech play? Do we see an Ultralisk cavern? Yes, we do. It's not going to finish in time to build the Ultras down there, but you know what they always say? Are you banking minerals, banking gas, invest in Ultralisks? And is it going to work?
Well, I don't know, Kix. I guess we'll have to find out.
Yeah, we'll have to find out. We do have a lot of lurkers moving through the middle of the map, trying to set themselves up in good positions, but there's just so many mines absolutely everywhere now. And, I mean, Cryoc is doing a fantastic job to really come back in this game after he did lose a lot of his early units.
Now, you mentioned the tech coming through, Kix. I would like to mention the most important part of this tech is the metastatic node that is in research right now. Now, this is the Defiler energy upgrade, if you didn't know that. And I don't know why you wouldn't. I mean, obviously, I look at Defilers and I think, you know what they have? You know what they need?
Not enough energy, yeah.
No, metastatic nodes. Like, you just, it's just missing. Like, you know, when I was dissecting Defilers in biology class, I was just like, well, of course, clearly here for extra credit is the metastatic. Yeah, okay, I'm just making fun of it because it's like a kind of a weird name.
Yeah.
Yeah, Defiler energy is coming through. They'll be able to just juice themselves right up, and that is not something I see all that often.
Oh, the vessels!
Whoa! Okay, actually, yeah, losing another one. One of them was pretty dead on energy.
6 lurkers. 7 lurkers go down to those irradiates. That's insane. That's a lot of damage for Zero to be taking.
Yeah. So the vessel count is growing. The Scourge are not coming out in sufficient numbers to take them out, and this is exactly where you want to be as SK Terran. Now, the biggest thing is that you eventually will need to push out and get a 4th, but that doesn't happen for a while. And so there's kind of a narrow window here for Zero to try to get a lot of damage done.
The double drop in the top left is going to take out the other main, and Zero is going to play pop-up Zerky, going to take the 12 o'clock base behind this. But that's another base that Zero's lost. That's a lot of hatcheries, a lot of minerals. And eventually he is going to run out of money in his main natural and third combo. It'll take a while because he's Zerg, but still. Zero needs to secure another gas, and very soon.
Because he's Zerg. Okay, yeah. Every race on 3 bases, mines out eventually kicks.
Yeah.
Sick Terran bias.
I mean, that was a very, very nice nice drop defense there by Zero, moving his links in the perfect place at the perfect time. Does manage to save his 12 o'clock base, but now Cryoc is aware of it. And now obviously this does mean he can go and kill it if he wants to, or at least try to.
He certainly can. It's 2-1 also the upgrades for Zerg, so those are really, really starting to kick in. And because this was a bio start, the Siege Tank upgrades are only at 1-1 with no more on the way right now, and only 1-1 for bio as well. So Zerg upgrades are starting to pile on. He's over halfway done with +2 carapace.
Oh, Plague!
Ooh, not only Plague, but a big swarm taking down everything at the 9 o'clock base, right as the command center is floating up there to try to take that one down. So this is actually super, super sick. Where's the swarm? Dark swarm, dark swarm. There it is.
That's a lot of tanks, so Swarm isn't going to really help you against that.
Yeah, also there's no links, so...
Yeah. All the links exploded to mines and siege tank fire, but there we go, we've got Cryoc taking the 6 o'clock base. He's trying to take the 5 o'clock base as well, really trying to expand over his opponent. Zero didn't really manage to mine this base too much, so it's going to be a pretty fresh base for him to take. And now we're slowly starting to see Zero making the moves he needs to make, sending single lings just all over the place, just trying to block any mines. And this is because behind this, he's going into Ultralisks. And if there's one pair that does not like each other very much, it's Ultralisk and mines.
Yeah, mines are one of the best ways to deal with the Ultras. They run into them and they're like, oh, I'm going to attack this, and it blows up and kills them. And they're like, oh, well, you know, maybe the, I don't know, not quite the Ultra in the Ultralisk there, but the minefield is kind of a result of this mineral-only third that he was mining off of for quite a while. Just able to pump vultures non-stop and really mine up his side of the map. It's enabled him to go from being a 3-base Terran to now a 5-base Terran, and soon to be 6 down in the bottom right-hand corner. And this is just, getting a little bit out of control, even with Zero having that Ultra Tech coming up.
Yeah, I mean, Zero tried to be really clever. He actually went with a couple of mules to try and take down some of those vessels. I didn't hear any of them die, but I think a few of them did go down. So good move. Did force a couple more Irradiates out. And Cryoc is slowly starting to split his forces to try and take more of the map. I know, obviously, the more he splits his forces, the stronger the Zerg army does become. But we saw a lot of drones going down there at the 12 o'clock base.
Yeah, exactly. With no drones mining now at the 12 o'clock.
Oh, no.
I mean, where?
Oh no, the mines!
Oh, that was so
lucky.
close. I'm having to like find out exactly where you're watching on the map here, Kix.
Yeah,
but I did find it. So here we go. Crackling's coming through down the bottom right-hand corner, taking the base out, or at least they could go take the base out. Instead, they're chasing around SCVs, which is not a valuable use of their time. I feel like a parent trying to tell my kids not to play video games. It's just like, it's not a good use of your time, kids. Well, it is actually a fantastic use of your time, so keep playing video games. Look at the Cracklings go to town on this command center. He's not lifting it, Oh my god! Cryoc losing that bottom right-hand base.
Yeah, very uncharacteristic mistake by him. He's focusing a lot on trying to get scouting information at the moment. Obviously, 400 minerals to him isn't too much of a big deal. He's got the other two bases mining, but still, a big loss. And we see Zero trying to re-secure that 10 o'clock base now. We're 21 minutes into this, and we've still got a long way to go, it looks like, as both players still in a fairly good position.
I never feel like Zerg are in a good position until they win the game, and I'm like, oh yeah, they were probably in a good spot there. Carapace upgrade complete. So these are +5 armor ultras, and I mean they at this point, yeah, can take quite a few mines. They're very, very strong. They're exploding out on the map, and I'm guessing going to go target that 6 o'clock location, which should be kind of vulnerable if it weren't for a giant tank line in the way.
Yeah, that's a very large number of tanks. He's on 1-1 upgrades for them at the moment. Just about to finish 2-2 as well. Now, are we going to see the big modern switch? No, we're not. There's no physics lab yet. No Radley style covert ops either. So it's going to be mech from here on out. Obviously, we have all the barracks have lifted. There's a lot of factories in Cryoc's base. Now, does Zero have the position? Does he have the money to really deal with this army coming in from Cryoc? Just look at the size of this tank line.
Yeah, absolutely in awe of the size of this tank line. Absolute units. Kicks.
That's a good English meme. But here we go. We see a lot of ultras going down, a lot of lings. Swarm goes down on the tanks, but it just doesn't really do anything because there's just so many of them. And I mean, we do have Zero on a decent number of gases now, but the trouble is he doesn't have that big bank that Zergs really need at this stage. Zerg and Protoss need a couple of armies at least to take down the tanks unless they can catch them on siege like this. But there's just so many tanks, it doesn't seem to matter.
There's no swarm. Where's the Dark Swarm? I mean, thankfully they will siege. That will mean that they'll all die, but okay, the vessels are coming back through. Oh, 15 Matrix. Nice.
Oh, there's the swarm.
Okay, there's the Dark Swarm. Wow, that is just a little bit late there. The cavalry, of course, arriving maybe not at the best time. But yeah, the tank count's going to get reset. Well, not reset, but like taken down a peg.
Yeah, that was actually a really, really, really good engagement there by Zero. He was trading minerals, like, not really that many minerals, to be honest, for a lot of gas. He gets another vessel with Scourge again as well. And I mean, as long as Zero keeps his gas units alive, his Defilers, his Ultralisks, he's going to be in a good spot. He's got +2 attack now on his melee. He has a lot of drones at his 4th base, his 5th base. His top left base not mining too much. A little bit of a Cadency drone situation going on there, but Zero is still in a good spot.
Yeah, you know, I would hesitate to say good Kicks. He is down about 70 supply, which even for Zerg is kind of a lot. He also hasn't been able to deal with these sieged tank lines or the big minefields. And the vessel count is still continuing to grow, so this is not a super positive place for for Zero to be. But he is mining. He is still getting a ton of income coming through. But you know, so is Cryoc. So really, there's a lot going for both players. I really want to see what the next move is for Cryoc to try to free up a little bit of space on this map.
Yeah, now it looks like Zero is planning to take down these side disruptors, try and secure the bottom right-hand position now. I'm not sure if he saw it, but there is a base down there. But I mean, the tank count of Cryoc is insane. We're gonna have the Lings running into some Marines without any form of swarm going down, and that's just a little bit unfortunate.
Yeah, these swarm timings have been really difficult. I mean, I appreciate the drop, right? But I mean, there's Charon boosted Goliaths there, so I don't know if that's really going to be your way to succeed. Now, here comes the Ultra Ling Defiler, which is going to be one of the biggest opportunities for Zero to come back in this. If he can execute this correctly, then absolutely he can come back. He can reset this tank count. Trying to get the Mind Drags to take them out in time. There's one swarm coming through, but not a whole lot is making it through this gigantic tank line. Yeah,
no, there is 2 swarms finally. This Ultra gonna go down though, and there's just... Zero just seems to be a little bit too late with his Dark Swarms here.
Yeah, and I think that was really kind of the last big hurrah for Zero. He's down 60 supplies, like I said before, and now, I mean, really, where is he going to get the units from? Like, he's remacroing Ultra Ling, but that's just not going to cut it at this point, Kicks. There's too many mines. It's too hard to get to the Dark Swarm on the tanks.
Yeah, it's not only that, but, I mean, Cryoc is pushing through a very, very tight, narrow corridor. This really nullifies the effectiveness of that Ultra Ling combo. And Zero's units going in sort of in a conga line here. He's not getting the engagements that he needs, but this could be a good one. There's a lot of Lings getting on top of the tanks, but still, that's just so much splash damage.
Speaking of splash, Plague goes off, but somehow it only hits one vessel. I don't know how that Plague happened and only killed one vessel, but we're starting to see the Muta switch, right?
This could be big.
Side special death sound is the absolute best sound in the game. Now here comes the Irradiate. Oh, actually a big Irradiate. It's not being split. Oh my god. Second Irradiate. Big split there. So Zero does handle that pretty well. This is a big Muta switch. It's a full control group. Actually more than a full control group.
All the mines not going to go off, so the Vulture's going to survive at the top, at least for now. But funnily enough, we've got Cryoc trying to expand next to a Zerg base, so this is a little bit enthusiastic by him. But are we going to see a Goliath switch coming in? It looks like there's not actually that much anti-air here for Cryoc anywhere. Oh, that's...
Yeah, he has no anti-air. This is an incredible number of mutas. And there's actually SCVs now Maynarded up to that, is that 8 o'clock base? If he goes and kills that, that's a big blow to Cryoc. He loses a bunch of workers and that command center. So he needs to just go kill that and just take the win, because he needs some wins out here. He's busy dealing with a few vultures, but like, oh, needs to deal with the irradiates.
Oh, this is so much damage. Oh my god. Oh, that's gonna be...
lose.
Oh, this is just too much damage.
Yeah, he finally splits it, but just go kill that base, my dude. Okay, so he sent a couple of Zerglings up there. Maybe they can do it, but yeah, these mutas are very heavily bruised after all those irradiates.
Oh, the Mind Drag on the SCVs.
That was dope. That was the play. Wow. Okay, so Zero, is he going to be able to clear up that 8 o'clock base? And wait, not 8 o'clock, 11 o'clock.
Yeah,
I don't know what.
I didn't want to point that out.
I turned my clock on the side.
Yeah, it's upside down. It's fine. It's okay. We're actually casting from Australia, so all the clocks are upside down.
Maybe it's a Commonwealth thing. I don't know. But either way, the base is taken out, and that's a big win for Zero. He also kills off the siege tank lines and has started to clear up the minefields. And so you've started to see a big switch in the way this game is working out for Cryoc. He was able to push out across the map, lay all the minefields, make it work, and now all of that's been reset.
Yeah, the big problem is, though, where are the Mutalisks? Am I blind? I can't see them
they died.
anywhere. Oh no, here they are. They're at the 3 o'clock base. They're just
they're just they're in triage.
Yeah, they needed to go back home. They took a lot of damage. Now, the one weird thing about this game is he's got so many Mutalisks, yet he's not clearing the mines. Like, he's not using his overlords in the way he possibly could do.
He's not clearing the mines, and he's also not clearing 5 barracks out on the map, scouting everything.
Yeah.
This is like free. It's like that free real estate meme. This is like free vision for. Yeah, thank you for saying the words that I said, Kix. That really intensified the validity of the meme. Nobody understood what I meant before you explained it. So maybe the people out there now understand. My terrible explanation. So thanks for that, Kix. You're as always helping me out. You know, I say the
Yeah.
joke, and it's like it's not funny enough. But then when you say it, people are just like, "Oh, well, why didn't Reed just say it in the first place?" Like, it would have been so much better. Either way, you know, this is finally the moment, right, where we get a chance to watch Ultraling really do its job, and that is to clear out so many mines. Oh, they all explode, and thus the Ultraling is devastated.
It is, but there's still so many mines left on the map, and I mean, this is just... I mean, Zero's done his best. He's been doing a really good job clearing army by army, but he's up against 3-3 mech now. He doesn't even have 3 attack on his Zergling and Ultra either, so Zero is held on by a thread. He's going to take another base up here in the top left, or another 2 bases actually. But with Cryoc taking this bottom right set of bases, he's going to be able to increase his gas count. And I mean, this mech is just way too much. I mean, look at the amount of turrets we have over in the 9 o'clock base. That's just insane.
9 o'clock base, yeah, 9 o'clock's not where you're really going to realistically use your mutas. And actually, if you're against the wall...
That was so many lings.
Oh, he's going to get another one. Gigantic
wow.
mine hit here. Why is he not just killing mines with mutas? Like, what? This, like, Muta Overlord is like one of the best ways to kill mines in the game.
Yeah.
He's not mine sweeping, and he's really paying the price for that, especially since, like, I mean, mutas could realistically just do so much damage at these lower bases, but he's not using them that way. He also, like you mentioned, still hasn't killed off these racks that are just floating. He's just kind of putting the mutas in safe spaces and then trying to save them for later or something. But
yeah,
you know, spoiler alert, that's not super effective.
I think we know the reason what's been happening after BSL4 Zero switched to StarCraft 2. He thinks they're Widow mines. A bit worried they'll shoot up, but they won't. But here we go. This is actually going to be a big engagement. A lot of the tanks going down. Some nice swarms, but still a great defense here by Cryoc.
He ran out of swarms, and actually now these irradiated ultras are killing everything, so that's a little bit painful. But yeah, Zero's making a couple of really questionable engages. I think what you need to do is just take your mutas with an Overlord, clear out the mines in the middle of the map, make it so that your Zergling Ultra can circulate a little bit better, and then try to really go for these base kills. But yeah, man, nothing's working out for our man Zero.
Yeah, I mean, the main thing to realize in this game as well is the fact that it's been 32 minutes in this game. Zero's been hanging on by a thread this entire time, and he's going to be exhausted. I mean, Cryoc is as well. He's not been able to kill his opponent, but he's been sitting on like max supply for a very long time, not really doing too much, other than just placing mines everywhere. So Cryoc certainly with a little bit more stamina. I mean, it looks like we're going to have the Lings try and break through these side disruptors. I can't even click the one they're attacking because they're attacking one of the lower ones, but you know what, I have no idea how they're doing that. That's kind of interesting. But either way, we've still got a big army by Zero, still no 3 attack, and that could be hurting him, but there's just so many mines absolutely everywhere, so much Terran, and Cryoc is slowly starting to extend out on the map.
The mines and the muta usage, I'm just like so kind of questioning that. Finally, he's going to clear out the last remaining barracks, so you know that's finally we can check that off our Zero Zerg bingo list.
Yeah.
And then you know should start to go take out some of these mines, but I mean those are just being such MVPs right now. There's no defilers also. This is just Ultraling being Ultraling, and that will just die to 3-3 Terran mech over and over again.
It will. Now, one thing that we can say about this game is it's been a pretty epic game. It's a bit epic in different way to Cryoc versus Eon Zerg, but it's certainly showing he has strong TVZ. Oh wow, we actually see him pick up the irradiated Ultra. Does that save it? Or does it still take damage? No, okay.
No, it still takes damage.
I guess he just
it doesn't damage the
splashing.
Overlord.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just stops it from splashing on the units below it. Now, that's still not going to be a solution here because losing your ultras for free energy is like, you know, it's not a good trade.
Yeah.
So I love the Muta switch. He did take massive damage to them from irradiates earlier, and he's still continuing to. But the thought was there, and it was well executed. It got him back into the game, but I think now things have really swung back over Cryoc's way.
Yeah, the trouble is we do have Zero nearing max supply. Now, if you don't play this game as often, you won't realize how difficult it is to move a max Zerg army. There's a lot of units, way more than even 10 control groups worth of stuff, but here we go. This could be the death knell of Zero in this game. Cryoc is pushing in with all of his might to this top left position, and this is all Zero has remaining for him.
I think maybe Zero may have overbuilt drones?
Yeah.
He has a lot of them. Now, he morphed all of his mutas to guardians, so there's actually no mutalisks left, and he's going to try to sweep down through the bottom half of the map. And this is actually a brilliant move, because mech is very, very slow. And even science vessels, you know, they're pretty fast, but it's a big map. And so these guardians should be able to really shut down a lot of the mining down here in the bottom corner. But in the meanwhile, Cryoc will deal a ton of damage, specifically to, what is this, 1, 2, 3, 4 hatcheries up the upper, 12 o'clock location.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing Cryoc taking out pretty much the final remaining mining bases of Zero right now, so this is all or nothing for him.
Kicks, he's got the upper left-hand corner.
Yeah, okay, but eventually Cryoc's going to push in there, right? So that's what I meant.
Well, yeah, but look at these drops coming through. This is actually super... Okay, wait, he dropped all the mutas before the tanks? What was that?
He didn't see all the tanks, I think. I think he thinks all the tanks were at the front, and I mean, the deep tank line, just too much. Zero plummeting in supply. It looks like all of the Guardians actually went down as well. 2 irradiates and things like that, so...
He never split them or anything. He's now there's a massive like wave of Scourge that'll come down here and take it out, but there's only one science vessel. It was just like he just didn't pay attention to them. He actually lost some Guardians to missile turrets, which never actually happened because they outranged them, so...
Yeah, quite difficult there. He was obviously spending a lot of attention up here in the top left, trying to deal with Cryoc's units, but... Oh, unfortunately it's not really worked out for him. A lot of Zero's units actually getting stuck behind the side disruptors up here. He's not really sending all of his army in at each time. And I mean, the tank count is dwindling, but there's a big reinforcement coming up as well.
Honestly, like, the big switch I would have loved to see is Queens. Late game TVZ, Queens are absolutely worth it. Now, you gotta make sure that they don't get, irradiated. But if you get them, substantial numbers, you can absolutely clear out big tank lines that way with broodlings. But yeah, getting busted over and over again. Zero, like you said, dropping in that supply. His bases are starting to go down, and you know there's the writing, like you said, might be on the wall here. Kicks. This is a very strong push, and it looks like finally Zero is running out of ways to deal with it.
Yeah, I mean, Zero holding on with his 5 drones up here in the top left. He may even be able to finish mining out this base. No, he won't. There's going to be 52 minerals left there, but while we have Cryocs going to this base, Zero is still mining at the other 2 bases, so this is buying him a little bit of time. Now, of course, Cryoc is in an insane position right now. He's still got the 9 o'clock base mining. The 6 o'clock is mined out already, but he's got the 5 o'clock and the 4 o'clock bases. Weirdly enough, the 3 o'clock base never actually really started mining, so it's going to start mining finally. But the real story is these tanks. How is Zero going to deal with these? And it looks like he's going to try and use Ultra to do it. The tanks are actually on siege. This could be a big, big power play. There's not that much up here by Cryoc.
Wow, unsieged tanks? Is that really the way Cryoc loses this game? What on earth just happened? Kicks! That entire tank line just got completely obliterated. I mean, what do you want to... What adjective do you use there? He boomed it.
I would maybe annihilated, possibly, but that's a little bit big for 4 AM or 5 AM, however late it is for Korea now. But, I mean, Zero, that is the sort of play he needs to make. Now, he's going to go for a big drop. Is this going to be the tide that turns the game? Now, of course, Cryoc does have still a lot of vessels. He's got a lot of units. He's laying a lot of mines back down. But there's a big Zerg army now. And I mean, Cryoc knows what the danger is. He's actually irradiating the Overlords now. He doesn't want to die to a drop.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely the way you win this game. Play comes through a little bit, but look at these irradiates. I mean, he's just got so many irradiates to spare. Oh, he missed on the Scourge! Scourge! Wait, did he use 18 Scourge on 2 Science Vessels kicks.
I don't think that was 18, was it? I thought it was like 8.
No, I was exaggerating
Oh,
kicks.
okay. I was gonna
It's
say,
called
am I
hyperbole.
blind? I think, I think you'll find it's hyperbole. But here we go. Looks like we're going to have round 2. As we see units from both sides going into Cryoc's tank line. This time, though, the tanks are siege the Ultras. The Lings not in Overlords, and GG, or ZZ, which I guess is Polish for GG.
I think you'll find it. In fact, ZZ is Polish for ZZ. In fact, they have G keys on their keyboard just like everybody else kicks.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. You win this round, Rapid.
As I do, as I do. Congratulations to Cryoc. What a win for Red. They hold on little by little, and finally it is their anchor, Cryoc, that brings them back against a very well played game. 39 minutes there, Kicks. Zero really just killing it.
Yeah, Zero stayed in as long as possible. Now, if this series does go to the ace match, Cryoc could be pretty tired after that. Like, if we do go to the ace match, Cryoc, one of the main ace players, and I mean, it could come down to that. We could see a rematch if we get there, but before that, we're going to have the 4th game. So let's head on over to the intro, and we'll be back in just a minute. See you guys very soon.